Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, and welcome to the ace match of STX Soul versus We Made Fox. STX is trying to complete what would be a fantastic comeback for them in this series. Down 2-0 after Baby and Shine beat Shuttle and Calm, they were really on the ropes. So win by Cal and surprise win by Frozen over Pure and Roro have brought STX back into the series, and for the ace match, rather than sending out de facto ace Calm, they are sending out their 1B player. I guess you can call them 1A and 1B, Calm and Cal. And Cal is going to get the call here on Polaris Rhapsody. Not really a Zerg favored map from what I've seen. I haven't seen a lot of Zergs even touching this map. So Cal's going to get the call here. And just look at who he's playing against. You already saw his face, already saw his name, and I am just like giddy with happiness and anticipation for what is going to happen in this game. That is NaDa for We Made Fox. That's right, not sending out Baby or Mind or Midas or Roro. They're going to send out NaDa, who I'm sure has been practicing exclusively on this map since he is out here for the ace match. This has got to be like his map right now. He's got to be preparing for this map, and I hope he's got something in store. I mean, he's not as good of a player as Cal, to be honest, at this stage of his career, but I'm hoping that his strategy on this map, that his practice on this map will come through, and he'll be able to show us what a veteran of StarCraft can do, and maybe take down Cal. It looks like Cal's going to go for a gas steal. Come on, NaDa, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it! No! And Cal gets the gas steal off. Oh, that's unfortunate. And NaDa's like, oh, really, Cal? Really, you're gonna do this to me? You're really gonna start off with a gas steal? That is just that's just not necessary, Cal. Come on. But here we go. We're gonna start off with the gas steal. And we'll see how Cal follows up with it. Now I hope NaDa does one rack straight into CC. That is my favorite counter to the gas steal. Assuming, of course, that the assimilator is completed, and there it is. So yeah, I like the one racks into CC. Of course, you'll. I mean, everyone has their own ways to deal with it, but that's the way I like to see Terrans counter one racks into CC. Throw up that bunker to counter the early Dragoon pressure, and just go off of that. It's usually a pretty decent strategy, and I like to see it. And hopefully Cal or NaDa does something along those lines, because he is going to be pretty far behind on his factory timing now, of course, and he's not even attacking that assimilator yet. So it's going to be quite a while for him to get a factor, and his mech forces out, so he almost has to go for an early command center. There's almost no way that he can spend all of his money, to be honest. Yeah, man, Cal just had to ruin whatever strategy NaDa had. I'm sure NaDa had a strategy for this map, and now it's just been thrown for a loop, and I think that was a really good play by Cal, because you know that if you know that someone's been practicing almost exclusively on a map, you know that they're going to have a pretty solid strategy for it, maybe something unique. And if you can disrupt it, stop them from being able to get it going, yeah, that's greatly in your advantage, especially when it's a player like Cal, or when it's a player like NaDa, and you know that you'll probably be able to beat NaDa in a war of mechanics and instant decision making in the modern day. I mean, NaDa just hasn't been able to win as many games recently, just because. Probably mechanics, I'd say, more than anything else is what usually is the low point of most veteran pro gamers. Is their mechanics can't match with the new generation. Their strategy is usually good. Their build orders are usually solid. It's just they don't quite have the necessarily the Reaver Micro, the multitask, those kinds of things that the new generation has perfected through endless hours of practice, starting at the age of 8, whereas many of these pro gamers probably started maybe like 10 or 12, and techniques weren't yet there for them, so they were using inferior practice methods before for a long time, and it's just hard to play catch up like that. Cal is going for that Nexus. It's almost up already. So we're going to follow up his gas steal with an early Nexus. A lot of times you'll see players put on pressure after that, knowing that their opponent won't have a gas up, won't have a factory. You'll see a lot of players go gas steal right into Dragoon pressure, which is usually a good idea, but Cal choosing not to do that, instead taking that opportunity, knowing that NaDa was probably not going to be aggressive with any sort of a marine push or anything, so he's just going to throw up that Nexus and try and get an economic advantage. But I'm not sure if that's really going to work out for him, just because both of their expansions are going to come up at about the same time right now, and NaDa's not really having to pay for the fact that his factory is up later, so. But, you know, NaDa's at least been thrown a little bit off his game, and that is something at least. Academy is completed, and there's the composite stations coming up now. And second refinery is already up as well for NaDa, so he has to play a little bit of catch up in terms of the gas count, so that's why he's going for that second factory already, a little bit earlier than Terrans normally will. But since he had some extra mineral mining time, he can definitely get away with that. And it looks like, what is he doing over there on the left side of the map? He's not going to go for another base, is he? He's not going to go for that double gas expansion at the bottom left, is he? That would be so crazy. That would be so... What is that unit? What is that unit? Okay, I think it just keeps moving around, so probably not a probe. I think it is a probe because I think it laid down a pylon there. In the end, this is sometimes I want control of the camera because I want to know what the hell is going on. We do have the robo facility getting scanned right now. Probably going to throw down an observatory because he doesn't want to get mine contained or anything like that. I don't think it will be for Reavers this late. Yeah, there's the observatory. Dual machine shops coming up for NaDa as well as an armory, so he'll be going for some early upgrades here, which is definitely a good idea for Terrans. I love early upgrades for Terrans. You know, once you get to that +2 weapons upgrade, that 2-1 situation for Terran, a lot of times you can catch Protoss players at 1-0 or sometimes even 0-0, and that is just such a huge advantage. You can really melt an army if you have a really nice timing attack. A really nice 2-1 timing attack is incredibly powerful for Terrans, and it's definitely a build I like, and hopefully that's the kind of thing that NaDa's going for. +1/+0 is also a good timing attack. I don't like it as much personally as a +2/+1, but yeah, definitely that is also another possibility. He could go for the 1-0. We are seeing 4 factories now up for NaDa, so he's going to be getting a good number of units out pretty shortly here. And normally we'd say that they were going for a 4-fact timing push, but he doesn't really have any forces out right now. Hasn't really been scouting or putting any pressure on Cal at all. I hope he understands what Cal's doing, that he is going for this 2-base arbiter strategy. Cal might be throwing up a base at the 3 o'clock position shortly, so it could turn into kind of a 2.5, maybe pseudo 3-base strategy. Looks like NaDa's throwing up a command center inside of his main. Going to float that over probably to the mineral only at the inside 9. I doubt he'd go for the 9 straight away, just because it's harder for him to defend from there. And if he had a drop ship or something like that, maybe you could see him doing that because he can ferry units in there a little bit quicker. But even then, I just don't think that's a really viable situation for him. He really needs to dominate the left side of the map, get control over the high ground, and there's a ramp there that he needs to get control of, and get a decent number of tanks, a couple missile turrets, those kinds of things, establish a minefield, and once he can do that, then maybe he can try to take that 9 o'clock position a little bit safer. So I think at least for now, he's just going to go for that mineral only. We do have an engineering bay coming up now, and observers scouting all of this out, seeing everything that's going down. And it's kind of odd to see the 4 factories plus a command center. I wonder if NaDa actually has the money to even build out of all 4 factories. It's kind of a confusing build here from NaDa, going for kind of this lots of expansions, but at the same time has 4 factories trying to pump. I think he could have been a little bit safer, easier, just going off of 2 factories and pumping a little bit stronger. Could have gotten that command center up a little bit earlier, but it's okay. Nothing too significant, I would say. Cal is going for his 3rd Nexus at the mineral only at the 6 o'clock position. I believe NaDa, yeah, is already floating his command center. So NaDa is doing a really good job keeping up with Expos. As long as his macro doesn't fail him, as long as his multitask doesn't fail him, and he plays this correctly. I mean, arbiters will be out, of course, for Cal, and that will be the one danger. But as long as he's able to keep up with everything he should be, keep up with Cal's army, marks where it is, sees the composition,